So what are the health benefits of dairy products? Let's talk about it right now. In this video, we're gonna go through dairy and how your body metabolizes dairy. And next we'll go through the health benefits of dairy products. And last we'll cover how dairy fits in with the Code Red lifestyle. I realize that a lot of you guys watching this right now, you're gonna be like triggered by this, a trigger warning. Dairy is not what we think. And we have been brainwashed to believe for decades, because the dairy industry is very powerful, we've been brainwashed to believe that dairy is something that I'm sorry to say is actually not. We've been brainwashed to believe you need dairy for strong, healthy bones. Remember those campaigns with the milk mustache? Guys, again, the lobbyists are very powerful, they're very good, and the dairy industry is very strong. And they want you to believe that you need to consume their products in order to get strong bones. But the truth is actually much different than that. We are the only species to drink milk of another species. And we're the only species that drink milk after we've been weaned. Yeah, fact. Look that up. That's true. That's not just Cristy's bullcrap opinion. That is true. Because think about the purpose of milk. The purpose of milk is to fatten up babies. So whether you're talking about a baby calf or a human baby, the purpose is to fatten them up. So after the age of 5, we no longer produce the enzyme lactase to break down lactose. So no, we actually don't need milk. But the dairy industry, look, I mean, like I said, they're powerful and they don't want to be left out of this whole equation. And they have really worked hard and spent a lot of money over the years to make sure that we all believe that you have got to drink your milk every day. But the reality is, 66% of Americans cannot break down lactose. They can't do it. I mean, now you know why, now you understand the reason, but they can't. They have adverse reaction to dairy. They might deal with IBS. They might deal with, bloating, gas, constipation, diarrhea. They might have acne problems. In fact, speaking of acne, and by the way, I used to have really severe acne when I was growing up, so I understand, and I was raised on a dairy farm. A lot of people that have problems with acne, they consume a lot of dairy products. They drink a lot of milk. Whenever I see someone who's got cystic acne or they just battle with acne, my heart breaks for them. And they're on, Accutane, they're on some really powerful medications, and it's really very embarrassing for them, and it's an absolute misery for them. And I want to say to them, just cut out dairy temporarily and see if your acne improves, because I can pretty much bet for most acne cases, yeah, the acne will improve if you cut out dairy. So then what are the health benefits of dairy? Because I do allow Code Red Rebels to have a small amount of heavy cream in their coffee. And I battle with this all the time because I know the heavy cream is not optimal. I know it's not the best thing for them, but I'm not gonna ask people to do something that I won't do myself. And although I did cut out milk in 2005 and I haven't drank milk at all ever since, I do once in a while, if I'm out at Starbucks and I have a black coffee, I'll ask them to steam a little bit of heavy cream and put it in my coffee. But it comes with a price. I will have a stomach ache after that every time, and yet I do it. But I'm not gonna ask somebody to cut out heavy cream in their coffee if I'm not willing to cut out heavy cream in my coffee. But I'm not gonna stop drinking coffee. So what do? I switched to Nut Pods. Nut Pods is a dairy alternative. It's 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and only 10 calories per tablespoon. So it's really a great way to get your calories down, keep your calories in check, and you won't have the adverse reaction to dairy like you normally might. I mean, think about it. Just the calorie aspect alone. Think about it. 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, 120 calories. 2 tablespoons of Nut Pods, which is what I use for each cup of coffee, 20 calories. That's a huge difference. And as much as you might not want to admit this, calories matter. Even in maintenance, you're still gonna have to watch the amount of calories that you're consuming every day. So I definitely suggest that you check out Nut Pods. We'll put them in the description below, and discount code is Code Red. So check those guys out. They have all kinds of different flavors, and they have seasonal flavors too. So stock up on Nut Pods if you want to try out a dairy alternative that I endorse. So what are the health benefits of dairy? I would probably say that there's really only one health benefit of dairy, in my opinion, that it is a source of fat. And when you're on a high-fat diet like Code Red, you will find yourself seeking out different sources of fat. And when you put some heavy cream or we don't allow cheese, but we allow cream cheese and cottage cheese. And when you do add those to your diet, you're gonna see that your fat percentage bumps up pretty quick. And just a quick little sidebar, you might be like, well, wait a minute, Cristy, you allow a little bit of heavy cream, but you don't allow cheese. Dairy in and of itself is calorie dense. And what I've noticed is cheese is problematic for people and they cannot seem to control the amount of cheese they eat. So I save people from themselves by just cutting out the cheese from their diet, and that way they don't load up on the calories and cause their weight loss to stall. But yeah, dairy can cause your weight loss to stall if you have too much of it. You really, really, really have to be careful. It is a source of fat, but I would argue that there are other better sources of fat out there, like MCT oil, like even ranch dressing is a source of fat that you can add in. So if you're looking to add a little more fat and a little more calories and get your calories up a little bit, there are better ways to do that. Before I go any further, do you like this video? Do you like my style of delivering information to you? I would love for you to subscribe. And of course, I would love for you to like, and I would love for you to share this video. And I want to hear from you. Do you know that I read all of your comments? I really do. I want to know what you think about dairy. What kind of health benefits you thought or think there are in dairy products. Comment below. Tell me what you think. People have been brainwashed to believe that you need dairy for calcium. You don't want too much calcium in your body. What do you think glaucoma is? What do you think kidney stones, arthritis? That is a buildup of calcium in a certain area. You don't want too much calcium. You want your body to be balanced with calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium. This is why we don't supplement in calcium unless your doctor tells you to do that. Did you know that milk actually causes you to leach calcium from your bones? I know it is mind-blowing when you hear that because, again, the advertisers, the lobbyists, they're all so powerful. The industry is powerful and they're willing to spend a whole lot of money to get you to believe them and you to buy their product. But I urge you, just like you're doing right now, to do your own research and make sure that you understand the truth about calcium, because did you know that you can get even more calcium in chia seeds or spinach? Yeah, that's a better source of calcium if you're looking for calcium. So how does dairy fit in with the Code Red lifestyle? Well, like I mentioned, I do allow a small amount of heavy cream. I do allow cream cheese and cottage cheese, and I haven't noticed that cream cheese or cottage cheese is problematic for most rebels on the Code Red lifestyle. They don't tend to overeat with cream cheese and cottage cheese. They just don't. I don't know why. It kind of just controls itself, but cheese, actual cheese off the cheese block, we're talking 110 calories per ounce, and you can easily rack up a whole bunch of cheese if you're not careful, and a whole bunch of calories. You know, you stand in your kitchen at night when it's all dark and the refrigerator door's open and you're slicing off slices of cheese. Well, you just racked up 500-600 calories. And I just don't see that happening with cream cheese or cottage cheese. Personally, cottage cheese, yuck, not for me. But a lot of rebels use that to bump up their fat intake a little bit, and they do it in a controlled manner. So I do allow people to have a small amount of heavy cream, a little bit of cream cheese, a little bit of cottage cheese, and it tends to do just fine with their weight loss. And truth be told, I've actually never had anybody reach goal weight while still consuming dairy products. I don't know if that's depressing to you or not, but remember, on the Code Red lifestyle, you gotta choose your heart. And you're like, but I love dairy. Well, which one do you want, Karen? Do you love dairy or do you love asking for the seatbelt extender on the plane? Because if you wanna get skinny, if you're sick of being fat, then we've got to shift a few things in your diet. And when it comes to reaching goal weight, I've just noticed that the last 5 pounds or so from goal weight, I've had to eliminate dairy from people's diet. Not everybody and not all the time, but for the most part, we usually need to take people off dairy because it is inflammatory. And to get those last few pounds off, we switch people to nut pods, we switch people from butter to ghee, we do a few little tweaks and it gets them all the way down to goal weight, and then we go from there. The great thing about the 10-pound takedown is you are gonna get a list of foods. It's gonna be a page. It's gonna be clear. It's gonna be 2 columns, and it's gonna say foods to eat, foods to avoid. Cut and dry. Easy, simple, and I need you to follow that food list. And that's what we talk about on the 10-pound takedown. That and so many other things for $47. It's a way to lose at least 10 pounds in 30 days by following very simple foods, very simple list. And you're gonna see that some dairy products are gonna make the other side of the list and some dairy products over here. I take the guesswork out of this whole thing for you. So click the link below in the description if you wanna join next month's challenge, and I'll see you on the next video.